Postman's Knife channel. I have really been looking forward to making a review of this knife here, but before we are gonna get started, I just want to say a big thank you to Pohl for sending me this knife here to do a review on. I really do appreciate that. Today we are gonna take a closer look at the awesome new Quebec 2 knife from Pohl, and we are gonna take a closer look at what the compartment looks like inside the handle, and we are gonna go out and test this knife here out in the field. So this is gonna be a great one, guys. Let's go! What's up, guys? Now let's have a closer look at the Pohl Quebec 2, and I know that some of you out there may think, oh yeah, you got this knife here from Pohl, so you're probably not gonna do an honest review on it, but I can promise you guys, I am gonna do an honest review of this knife here. If I haven't got this knife here from Pohl, I have most certainly bought this knife here for myself, because I have been eyeballing the Quebec one for years now, but the price on the secondary market on this knife there was just unbelievable high. So I'm really happy that Pohl did a new version of the Quebec knife here, and what they come up with in the new design are just much more attractive in my opinion. I can just show you a picture up here of the older version, and they did a fuller and a compartment in the handle on the new one here, and I'm so glad that I didn't bought the old one. This is so much better looking in my opinion. But yeah, there some of you can see some familiar stuff in this knife here if you look closely. Now, this knife here is actually Pohl's version of a Randall knife, and it's not like that they stole anything from Randall. They actually got permission to do this knife here in their own style, and I can show you a picture of the Randall knife here that they got the inspiration from, and I just find that so cool that they got permission to do that from Randall. And I do know that the older version, the older Quebec 1 knife is actually at the Randall Museum in the States somewhere in Ohio, I believe. I'm not sure, but I do think that it's in the Ohio Randall Museum that they got the Quebec 1 on the Randall Museum. So yeah, but this is definitely one badass knife, guys. But they actually got this knife here in two versions. They got the one that I got, and they got it. You can get it in a black version as well. So really exciting stuff that are coming out from Pohl Force in the moment, and they also got their own version of the Gil Hibben machete, more tactical style, and I think that I'm gonna pull the trigger on that knife there at some point. I really find that cool, and one of the things that is coming from Pohl Force at any moment now is the new anniversary knife that is sort of a combo between the MK9 and the First Blood knife. Show you a picture right here of it, and I know that a lot of us that are in my Rambo group, Rambo knives, are just holding our breath and looking so much forward to they are gonna release that knife. So there are so many good stuff from Pohl Force in the moment. Pohl Force is definitely one of my favorite brands out there. They really do some great quality stuff that appeals to a lot of different knife users from special forces to hikers to campers to all around. So you should definitely go out in and check some of their stuff out. But enough talk, guys. Let's see what's in the compartment of the handle. Okay, let's have a closer look at this bad boy here. It comes with this beautiful FDE color sheath, Kydex sheath, and as I shown you before, you can also get it in black if you want that. But this is how the FDE color looks like, and just gonna put you out a little bit. And they have these awesome leg straps here. I love it when Pohl Force put them on the Kydex sheaths, because it really makes the whole knife sit very secure on your thigh when using it. And you can see it got that elastic on there, so it's really comfortable also when you are working out in the field. So yeah, and you can see here it got absolutely no rattle in there, and a very tough belt strap here. This is made out of some really great material. It's not very flexible, it's very stiff, so that's really nice job. And one thing more that Pohl Force do on the Kydex sheath that I really appreciate is that they put this kinds of scratch-free material, as you can see there, in the Kydex sheath, and I have never seen any other companies do that, and that is just a really great detail that Pohl Force did there, and that of course prevents the knife from getting scratched when you are pulling in and out from the sheath, and it is also very silent when using it. And it got that click there, and the knife just sits very secure in the sheath. Very good job from Pohl Force. Now let's have a closer look at this beautiful knife here. This is just a really attractive looking knife, and it got this false edge up here. It's not really sharp, So I don't think that I would ruin my baton stick when using this knife here, but this is made for penetration. That's why they did that up in the back spine there. So because this is a fighting knife, and now they made it to a fighting knife and a survival knife, and that was just what really got my attention. We got this compartment in here that we are gonna take a closer look at in just a moment. But look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful knife here. Now, let's see. Let's see how much this knife here is weighing. 383 grams. So it's a very light knife. And the blade from the tip down to the handle is 19 centimeters, and the handle is 12 centimeters, and we are looking at 31 centimeters overall. In inches, the blade is 7.5 inches long, so this is, in my opinion, the perfect size for a hiking knife or camping knife as well. It does not have the momentum to cut down a tree or something like that, or maybe it has. I don't know that yet, but we are definitely gonna find that out. It definitely feels like a knife that can do some work. So I'm really excited to see what it can do out in the field. Now let's see the thickness. 5.9 millimeters thick. So yeah, that was some specs on the Quebec. Now for the interesting part that I have been looking forward to is to see what is in the handle on this knife here. And as you can see here on the screws, there is only the one side that this key here will fit. So that is easy to find out which way you are gonna pull off. As you can see here, just to show you real quick, this is a tactical 8. The screws are exactly the same both ways, and just for a quick size comparison, when we just got it here anyway, the tactical 8, you can see the Quebec 2 is a little bit longer than the tactical 8, and it's just take the tactical 9, and it's a little bit shorter than the tactical 9. So the blade size on the Quebec 2 here is something in between the tactical 9 and the tactical 8. So, but let's take this off. Okay. Now let's see what's hiding inside of this. Look at that. There's actually more space in here than I thought there would be. Look at this, guys. Now, let's see what kinds of stuff that we can have in there. Okay. Now, of course, I want to have some fishing line in my knife here. I got around 20 meters of fishing line in here, so that should definitely do the trick. And of course, you need to have some matches in it as well. And now let's just gonna try to put, I want something to light my matches with, so I'm just gonna cut some of this off. Like that. Just gonna have to take a little bit more off here, like that, and now it fits absolutely perfect in the handle. Okay, and we want some matches in there as well. And some fishing hooks. Let's see what we got in here. I think I'm kind of hoping that I could have this three hook in here. Look at that, it fits there absolutely perfect. So you definitely have some good space in here for different kinds of stuff. Now I am gonna wrap this in some cloth or something like this. This afterwards. This was just to see what you could have in the handle here. But as you can see, you can easy have a lot of stuff inside the handle here, so that's really cool, guys. Now let's move on. Okay, guys, now I got my handle ready and I'm ready for any kind of survival situation, so that is so awesome. And speaking about being ready, did my Pohl did speak a little bit in his own video of his introduction to this knife here. I'm gonna put the link in the description so you can see that for yourself. But he did mention that he's gonna come up with some kind of system, so you can attach a pouch and some fire steel and some stuff on the kiting sheath, and that is something that is really appealing to me. I love that kinds of stuff because I like the feeling that I'm able to light a fire or have some bandages or something at me when I'm going out in the field. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to see what they are gonna come up with, and I am gonna buy all that stuff when they are gonna get available, and I'm gonna make a video more of this knife here to show you how it looks like. So really exciting stuff from Pohl. But let's get out. Let's get out in the field and see what this knife here is capable of. Let's go!
Every morning, I rise. My feet touch the floor. I'm prepared for war, prepared to grow, ready for more. Average will never live in me. I'll show all you doubts. I will fight. I will win. You will see. I'm ready to give all I have. I was born ready, ready to contribute, ready to create, ready to grow. Can't stop, won't slow. Greatness was never achieved by those who took the easy road. I flicked that switch, turned on beast mode. I know I must work. I know I must push. I know I must sacrifice. I will work. I will push. I will sacrifice. Never will I take advantage. I add value to all.
Okay, I hope you all are ready now after that little motivation speech there. I know I am, because now we are gonna test this knife here out as a field knife and as a survival knife. And as a survival knife, I want to see how this knife here will perform when betoning, and if it can cut down some small trees for shelters and stuff. So and of course we are gonna test the edge on the knife also, and the stabbing capability. So let's get going, guys. Okay, now we are of course just gonna start out with some smaller task, and then we are gonna work ourselves up. So let's see how the factory edge will perform on some lighter stuff, and as you can see, it comes very sharp, and I can make some really nice slices with this edge. Now let's try and see if the back edge here can cut. A little bit. As you can see, they are much more rough. So it's not meant to cut with. It is, as I told you in the beginning, that it's more for stabbing capability, but the edge on this knife here is definitely a good knife, a good edge for some food prep if you need to do that. that is definitely a thing that is nice on a knife when it can do that, because that is one of the things that you use the knife the most for when you're camping and stuff like that. Now let's see how easy it will go through this nylon rope here. Look at that. Really cut through it like butter. Let's try to step it up a notch. Yeah, it is. It ain't built as a chopper, but it can go through the water hose if you really wanted to. Now, one of the things that I gotta get a lot of question of is that D2 steel that is on the knives from Pohl Force. And one of the big concerns about this kinds of steel here are that the D2 steel will chip or something like that. It is a very hard steel, but D2 steel are definitely a very good steel, and it also depends a lot of how the heat treatment is done on the knife. So I'm really gonna get it, or gonna beat it today. While betoning. So let's just see how the edge is gonna hold up to this. I'm also gonna try to cut down a smaller tree, but first let's just give it a go on beton. Now this is some more wet and harder wood. As you can see, it's a very good knife for betoning. It really is. I'm actually impressed of how easy I'm going through all this stuff here. Now let's try a little bigger piece here. And this is where the extra blade length that Pohl Force put on this really gonna help me out. It got 1 centimeter more cutting blade than the old Quebec one, and that definitely helped me to beton bigger pieces of wood. So finally I hit a big knot. And we are gonna use all of this wood here to build a campfire later. But look at that. So far so good. It just goes through this wood here like nothing. Now let's try to see if I can cut this this piece of wood here over in one blow. Let's try again. Yeah. Let's do that one more time. It definitely has some good power in it. Now let's try to make some feather sticks. And one thing that you need to be aware of this knife here is that this up here doesn't really work as a finger choil. There are not really room for it, maybe a little bit, but I also have very thin fingers. So if you have some more fat or bigger fingers, you need to take that in the mind when you're buying this, that you will cut yourself up here if you are going to use this as a finger choil. But I think I can do it with my small thin fingers here with no problem. But the grip in itself really gives you some good control over the knife. So I think I can easily do some feather sticks without using the finger choil. And yeah, look at that. It's really easy to control without the finger choil. Yeah. Let's try to do some back cuts. Absolutely perfect. Okay, on to the next test. Okay, now let's try and see how good the knife can chop down a tree. And as you can see, it takes these branches off here with no problem. Now this is the kind of size of tree. It's about 3 inches wide, and that is a very decent size if you want to build a shelter with it. So let's try and see how the knife will perform with that. yeah, it could actually do it quite easy. And one of the things that really helps out a lot is that you can, let me just show you over here, you can get a really good grip down here, and you got this big pommel here in the end, so you can really grab on tight with that, and that is gonna give you some more momentum when swinging the blade. So far so good. Now let's try and see how the stabbing capability is on a car tire here. Look at that. It really just goes through. Now this is not some reinforced tire, anything like this. This is just an ordinary car tire. But it really look at that. Awesome. Now let's try and see what kind of damage this thing here can do on these fruits up here. Now as I told you, I has removed my chicken test. It was a little bit too much, I think, because I have some young folks looking at my channel here, so I have replaced the chicken with this. So but this is also gonna give us a very good idea on what the knife is capable of if you need to use this knife here as a fighting knife. So let's try and make some stabbing first. Look at that. It really goes in. Oh, I need to be careful not to cut myself here. Oh. Really goes in very easy. And look at that. Now this is fairly tough. This is some kind of grass car. Look at that. It really It really is easy to control in the hand. It's absolutely crazy. Look at that. Now let's see if I can cut these bananas here over in one blow. Oh, look at that. Awesome. Awesome knife. I love this knife here so far. Okay, now let's try to see how it would perform as a spear. Now, I know that this is definitely not the best spear I've ever made, but I had a hard time finding some straight wood out here, so this is gonna do it. But this is just more to see how well done the heat treat on the knife is, because this is definitely gonna give the blade some stress. So let's see what will happen, guys. It really went in deep there. It really has some good bite. Let's do it one more time. Look at that. Just one more time. This is really fun. Look at that. Whoa. Let's see if the tip has bent. Nope, it's still straight as an arrow. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, now let's see if we can light some fire here. It's really wet out here, but I was able to use some of the feather sticks that I made earlier. So but I'm just gonna need a little bit more. I have prepared the most of the fire because this video here is already getting a little bit too long, so I don't want to lose all of you while watching such a long video. But let's see if we can light this fire here. Now, I don't think that this is a 45-degree spine, but let's find out. Nope, it isn't. So that is not gonna be able to be used. So let's try this instead. Yeah. Now, wow. Oh, it's really lighting up nice. That was the Pohl Quebec 2, and I must say I'm extremely impressed over this knife here. It was really comfortable to use. while doing some finer stuff like preparing food or making some feather sticks, and it could even cut down the tree pretty nicely. It really worked out great when you are holding it down here and you got this big pommel here inside your hand. You really got some good control over it. I was a little bit concerned about the finger grooves here, because if you are not used to this is gonna feel a little bit weird, but the more you are using the knife, just more normal is it gonna feel like. I actually didn't notice it at all when I was using it. It really gave me some very good grip. So and the heat treatment is definitely done very well. You could see that I really went at it while betoning, and it got absolutely no chips or no bend in the blade. As you can see here, of course the knife is dirty, but there are nothing wrong with the edge. And the heat treatment is just done very well. You can see that I actually threw it as a spear, and that is something that is really gonna put a lot of stress on the blade. But it hold up perfect, and the knife is just straight as an arrow. And one of the things that I like about the knives, now normally I use knives in that has a much bigger blade, 8, 9, 10 inches of blade, but you can do a lot of the same stuff with a knife in this size here. Plus it's not gonna weigh very much. This was like 300 and something grams, so this is not the knife that is gonna slow you down when you are going on a long hike and something like that. And you can really rely on this knife here, and I'm not just saying that because that Dietmar Pohl was kind enough to send me this to do a review on. This knife here is a real workhorse, and you can trust this knife here really much. I don't know what to say, guys, but this is really a reliable piece of steel, and it really just looks nice. I just love the way that the way they did this cross guard here, and the fuller in here, and the handle is just such a beautiful knife. And I am Woodsman. I see you in Valhalla. Until next video. Bye bye.